Hey, good people. How's everyone doing? Trust that everyone is doing well. Just jumping on right quick. Haven't been on in a week, so trying to get in and get on and do my thing, right? Move on with life. Anyway, I'm Chris. Thanks for tuning in. In support of your in support of my channel. Appreciate it. So anyway, what do I do here? What I do here is I try to motivate people to get in the game. I try to give you a little information, try to share some pointers, and most of all, I try to share the little knowledge I've gained in my little 5 years here in the financial game. It's been an awesome ride for me, and so an awesome financial journey for me. I try to share my little experience, my little knowledge, and the little things I've gained along the way. Some of the resources that have helped me gain my little knowledge and my experience, right? So, hopefully that helps someone along the way, right? Um, but as I was thinking, what was I going to say? I thought about it and I said, I say this often. I talk to a lot of people in the run of a week, on my job, on my side hustle, and what have you. I meet with and I talk with a lot of people every week, a lot of new people and existing relationships, right? And so let me just say, if you have a question about anything I've shared, anything I've said, or if it opened up other questions to you, some of the things that I share, hey, hit me up. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. If I'm not covering something as I share things with you, if you feel like I'm missing something and you're missing the point, hey, reach out to me. I'll do whatever I can to help you out, right? I don't have a lot of time to come in here just make tons of YouTube videos every week. I have a life to live. I'm still growing my financial wealth and my portfolios. So there's only so much I can do to carve out time to come in here and share what I can with y'all. But I just wanted to get that across. Maybe there's something out there that I can help you with, and that you don't feel like I've helped you in such a way that you can take the knowledge I've shared and run with it. If not, hey, let me know. Let me know. I'll do what I can. You could drop a comment. I think my email is in my bio and what have you. Um, there's a community tab or a post tab. I drop information in there. You're welcome to go check it out. If you don't, hey, so be it. It's a free country. If you would, if you check out something, hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up. Make a comment. So let me know if the content was no good, was no help. Appreciate that. Let me know something. So, what's going on? It's a lot going on in the markets. It's always a lot going on in the markets, both the stock market, the crypto market, the financial world, the political world, and all of these things play hand in hand in how the market is doing. What's going on with the companies that own the stock, own the crypto? What's going on with the CEOs that run those companies? All of that plays a part in how everything is flowing, right? So I was just looking at, I'm just running all over the place. I always get drawn off when I'm in here, I get thirsty, what have you. But I was looking at the crypto bubbles. I looked at the day, I looked at the year. And as I looked up the year, I thought it was kind of impressive to me. Excuse me, I looked at H-bar. H-bar is up 360%. So I looked at H-bar up 360%. Then I looked up virtual is up 4,100. Well, 4,163%, right? XRP up 442%. Crow is up 72%. We talking about for the year now. SUI is up 318%. Algo up 118%. Ethereum up 62%, and what have you. Where am I going with that? I looked at H-bar up 360%. And when I looked at H-bar, I laughed on the inside. Now, I laughed on the inside because Calvin Hill, who I talk about from time to time on TikTok, Calvin Hill introduced me to H-bar. He introduced me to a few others, but we're talking about H-bar right now. Hedera, H-bar. He introduced me to that. And he introduced me to it probably about two and a half years ago. I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach, and anyway, I had a little free time on my hands, so I was listening to a video while the family was doing their thing, right? We had a resort and what have you. And so Calvin was on, he was talking about H-Bar, and he was talking about the things that it had going on. It caught my attention. I did a little quick Google research on it, not a lot, just a little bit. I don't remember what it was when I bought it, right? But I can say what my average cost is now. But excuse me, he shared it. It caught my attention. I did a little quick research just to make sure he wasn't just talking about stuff out of the clear blue sky, right? And so I smile and I look at H-Bar and I see it's up 361%. I smile because I know as I look at it in crypto.com, and it showed me my net investment was $499. And that was like I said, it was 2.5 years ago, right? Out of the 400, let's say 500, out of the $500 I invested, I don't know how many coins I have, but I know I sold a couple times and I took out $1,731 in profit. I took out $1,700 in profits. Out of a $500 investment, I took out $1,700 profit. And right now that position is up $2,700. That's called house money because I took out my initial investment plus $1,200 profit. And right now it's up $2,700. And there are countless times that I was going to sell it all, right? Because I was already, it was house money. But as Wendy like to say, that's a moon bag. A moon bag is what you taking out your initial investment and nice profit. Everything else is a moon bag, right? So I decided over the times that I consider selling more, I said I better hold it because it only had more and more good things going on, right? So anyway, and then I looked at virtual. I could pull up my virtual position. I'm not, but it's up 4,100%. So Calvin Hill introduced me to H-Bar. A guy that I work with introduced me to virtual. I believe it was December, November, something like that last year. And when he told me about it, he showed me his position. You know, he was up in crazy profits, right? When he told me about it, it was $3 and something. So I bought it, put like $10 in it, and I just kept watching it. Every time it dipped, I would buy more, right? And it went through like quite a few dips over time. So anyway, virtual has made me a nice bit of money. I've taken out a nice bit of money, and I still have money in it, you know. But I'm just saying, I talk to a lot of people, I meet a lot of people, we have a lot of conversations. Someone else introduced me to virtual, right? A guy I work with told me about it, right? So Ada, again, I have to credit Calvin for Ada. Crow introduced Crypto.com is the one who introduced me to Crow because I had no desire to buy it. The guy who told me about Crypto.com years ago that I work with, because it had some things available on it that I wanted and I couldn't find, so I'm grateful for it. And I ended up with Crow by happenstance. I would have never have bought Crow. I got Crow simply because I think I sold something one time and I didn't pay attention to the buttons that I was clicking. I wanted to go to my cash, right? And then I go to my cash, it sold a portion of a position I was selling, and it automatically put it in Crow because I didn't tell it where to send the money. So I saw myself with this Crow, like, what am I gonna do with this? I let it sit for now. I don't know how much time had passed, 30 days, 3 months, whatever. I looked, and it used to be $500 for the longest. I don't know how much it was when I first. I think I'm like $325 out of a position. And it put it in Crow. The Crow was at $500. It sat there for a while, and then I was in my portfolio one day, and I was up $1,500. So I was trying to see where the $1,500 was, and it was the Crow. Now I can't remember how many coins I had, but I know it was up from $325 to $500. I was happy with, but from $325 to up $1,500, I thought, man, that's good. Of course, I took some profit, but it taught me to keep an eye on Crow when it's down in a beat up position. Key point, watch stands. Know when something is down in a beat up position, right? Like you may be a fan of Shiba Inu. I am. It's made me a lot of money over the time I've been with it, right? But if you don't know what's a good entry point for Shiba Inu, you might be buying Shiba Inu when it's at the top. And then you're mad because you're always in negative, right? You're always at a loss. Why am I always at a loss? Because you don't know when's a good time to buy into Shiba Inu, or you don't know when it's a good time to buy into HBAR, or you don't know when it's a good time to buy into Virtual. So I'm talking about SUI up, I'm talking about Algo and ADA up. But if you don't know a good entry for those, what good is that to you? That's why you have to do your own research. That's why they say don't just blindly follow those folks out there on YouTube. You got to do your own research. So I say Calvin Hill introduced me to some things. SUI, Stocks with Josh introduced me to SUI. I made plenty of money with SUI over the time, right? Got out of it, got back in it, got out of it, got back in it, and I'm back in it now. But I made crazy money off of SUI, so I don't mind. I'm up in profit now. Pepe. Got in and out of Pepe. A good friend of mine at work, the same guy who introduced me to Crypto.com, is the one who introduced me to Pepe. I didn't want to get Pepe, but he kept talking about it. So, he and I share good knowledge, information, and tidbits with one another. So he talked about Pepe so much, his eyes was glowing and sparkling to, I won't even call his name. He knows who I'm talking about. I'm sure he's watching. So, I got into Pepe. I think I put about 500 in it, and not at one time I started DCAing, right? And once I got to 500, I said, okay, I'm happy with that size. I'll see what it do. Well, that 500, it doubled. It did a little bit over double. And so I had some issues going on with the car. All my fault. Wasn't paying attention, right? And so I needed some money, and I took it out of Pepe because it was never a position I really had wanted or did any research on. I just got in it to support my friend. Since then, I've been in and out of Pepe a few times, and every time I've got out of Pepe, it had something to do with a car. Bonk. Larry Jones, my best friend. I don't know him personally. He's my best friend via YouTube. And I always say Larry Jones is a great resource to have, right? He'll push you to the limits, mentally thinking. He will challenge you spiritually because he's a Christian and what have you. He constantly drops golden gems all the time about how to look at things in the market, how to think about things. What I tell you about getting into positions and selling off in waves, right? Selling 20% at a time or what have you, taking a haircut because things have shot up and you want to pull some of that profit off the table. Larry Jones is the one who introduced me to all that. When he first told it to me, the example he gave, I thought it was crazy. But it was coming from somebody who had helped me a lot mentally, spiritually, in the financial game. So I said, I'll give it a try when I have a chance. Wasn't long at all before the opportunity presented itself, and I applied what he said. I've given this example before. I think I said I was down in 2 positions, negative 500 apiece, and I still had like $1,100 in each. So I decided I would listen to what Larry said. You don't have to make your money back with the same stock, right? If it's down and you're not seeing any good news about it, you don't see any good technicals or fundamental signs that just tell you to hold on to it, cut the position, cut your loss, put it somewhere else. Put it in 2 or 3 other spots. I sold the 2 positions, took the whole pot, broke it up in 3 ways, put it in 3 other solid positions that I think 2 of them Larry had put on my radar, 1 Stocks with Josh had put on my radar, right? And within 3 weeks, the 3 were up, and I had more than made up. I said I had 2 positions, negative 500. I had more than made up. 500 and 500 is 1,000. 3 weeks later, I was up in nice profits. Made the 1,000 look bad. But I would have never have done that had I not been introduced to that theory by Larry, I would have been hee-hawing or so intent on making my money back from those two companies, what it would have been buying my average down, DCA, as it go down or what have you. But there was no guarantee that they were going to turn around. I can't tell you at this point if they ever turn around. They got off my radar because they were not impressive. And the three that I got into quickly made me forget about the old two, right? So, but again, that's why you need to follow somebody that's bringing you knowledge, bringing you information, right? Bringing you recommendations, right? You need to follow somebody who's keeping you up on the news in the stock market, keeping you up on the news in the crypto market, keeping you up on the news in the political world, in the financial world, what's going on with these CEOs that run these companies, keeping you up with the companies that are getting in bed with government contracts and what have you, partnering up with large corporations like NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the #1 company in the world. It is a $4 trillion company. It used to be Microsoft, Apple, and NVIDIA used to be all $3 trillion companies. And then NVIDIA bust their way into $4 trillion company, right? I brought to you, mentioned to you guys about a week ago about what was it, NVTS. Let me see, where am I trying to go? Wow, got way too much stuff open and I can't even find what it is. There we go. Took me a minute to find what I was looking for. Could have put it up here on my tablet, but I really want to put it up right here. Let's see if it's gonna let me in. Thank you. NVTS, if I'm not mistaken, right now it is somewhere around $6 and something. It had been up to $8 and something. And the people, myself and some other like-minded folks expecting NVTS, calling you by the ticker symbol because I mess up the name, Navitas, something like that. It is a semiconductor, right? So right now it's at $6.67, right? My average is $6.53. Right now I have a little decent position. I had more than that. It went up in really nice profit. And there were some other things going on that I wanted to build some positions, so I took some profit out of there, put it in 3 other things that I'm quite happy that I did. And then this pullback, so what did I have to do? I had to jump back in, right? Hit it a little bit harder, right? They say hold your winners longer, right? And cut your losses. Hold your winners longer. And when things are not doing that well, it's nothing wrong with cutting your loss and moving on to something else, right? But you got to make your own financial decisions. You need to have a good, sound idea of what it is you're doing and what you're trying to do. I read something the other day, and it was saying, oftentimes, Larry and Stocks with Josh love to say, the market can remain, if I'm not mistaken, insoluble longer than you can remain soluble. In other words, I might be saying that vice versa, but the market can remain in a state of influx, trading sideways and doing a lot of upwards and downwards moves that make it no difference to your bottom line much longer than you can afford to continue to buy the dips, right? Because we're going to run out of dry powder. We're going to run out of with extra money outside of having your living expenses covered and being able to play around with the market, right? So you got to do your research and figure out where you really want to put your money. I was looking at a young man's portfolio the other day, and he's been in the game probably about 2 months now, and I recommended 5 stocks, 5 cryptos. And I say, you could change it. You could go instead of 5 stocks to 10 stocks, instead of 5 cryptos to 10 cryptos. But I would stay around 5 to 10 stocks, 5 to 10 a crypto, 1 to 2 sided ETFs, and some growth stock, and in your crypto, you definitely want to be in Bitcoin, the number one crypto, Ethereum, the number two crypto. You want to be in XRP because it's a bad boy right now. And then, you know, pick you up something else, something that's small time that had the potential to net you a nice return. Something like Link or AVAX or Comp or Uniswap. That's just what come to my mind, right? So anyway, look at his portfolio. He had a lot of different. He had a lot of stock, a lot of ETLs, and a lot of stock. I ain't got nothing against ETLs, but you only been in the game for 2 months. Your portfolio is small time, and until you get up over double digits, you're really small time, right? You can't really take advantage of a lot of opportunities that come up because your portfolio don't have the room to take on that risk, right? You got to be safe and smart with your money. It's all about growing your overall money. Okay, I need to get out of here. I'm 20 minutes in, and I was trying to do 10 minutes. So this has become passionate. I could just go on and on, but we all have a life to get to, so I'm not trying to talk your head off. But my main point is it could be an exciting, fun financial run for you in this game of financial investing into both the stock market and or crypto, right? But you got to do a little research, right? You got to be a little patient, and you got to be consistent. When I say consistent, what am I talking about? You need to be investing weekly or bi-weekly or at least once a month, right? So it's 4 weeks in a month. If you're doing weekly, you could, I don't know what your pockets can afford. So if you have 5 stocks and 5 crypto, then you could break whatever it is you're doing weekly. You could break it up into 10, put it into each one. Or you can do five stocks 1 week, 5 crypto the next week. That would give you 2 weeks a month in stock, 2 weeks of crypto in a month, right? If you're doing it once a month, then you should be doing it at least 100. So you could be putting 10 into each one, right? Now, if you can do better than that, do better than that. The smaller you hit, the smaller you put at risk, the smaller your reward. The more you put at risk, the more potentially bigger your reward can be, right? Again, I don't know what's in anyone's pockets. I'm not a financial advisor. All I'm doing is just sharing my knowledge and my experience with you, right? I'm going to cut it with that. Hope you guys have had an awesome weekend. I know I myself have. Saw my grandbaby a little while ago, granddaughter on FaceTime, and my grandson was in the background talking, and so saw my daughter on FaceTime, and my son showed up in church on today, so all of those things brought joy to my life. Haven't touched bases with any of the rest of them yet, but we chatted in the family group chat. But anyway, you guys take care. Continue to grow your financial knowledge. Continue to be consistent in growing your financial wealth, and enjoy your journey along the way. So you guys take care and be blessed continually, my friend.